Okay, here's another fun project. Really easy, really great practice for your watercolor skills. And we are using the same color combinations that I've been using in most of these tutorials that I have for you. This one is a little bit different because we're going to be mixing kind of a pink color. We're going to be using our Chinese white in our palette, or if you've done what I've done and put some white gouache on top, you can use that as well. You can also get this in a larger size that takes up the whole paper. So you can decide which one you want. This one's the smaller one. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. Another card. I just love being able to give these away to neighbors and friends. It's just the perfect little gift that you can whip up pretty quickly, and it's pretty meaningful to people. So let's get started. So I've got it all traced here. The colors I'm going to be using are the same ones that I've been using in all of our other tutorials. It's our alizarin crimson mixed with just a little bit of our cadmium red. We're going to be using our intense blue, our sap green, and just a tiny bit, this is one thing that will be different this time, of our burnt sienna. So that is the one color that we haven't been using a lot of in our other tutorials. That's just for the little tree trunk there. Okay. Oh, and then we're going to be using our Chinese white, or if you have a gouache white, we'll be using that as well to make a pink. So let's get started, shall we? So I'm going to start from the top and go down. So we're going to start with our blue. As you can see, I've got some little snow flakes coming. So we're just going to use our intense blue, but we're going to water it down a lot. So it's mostly water. And we're just going to kind of go around those little snowflakes. So I like to just kind of carefully circle each one of those with my brush. And of course it doesn't have to be perfect, but just get as close as you can and just make a circle around each one of those. And then we'll fill the area around those in with our blue. And then just kind of just using the tip of your brush. This is a number 6 brush. I missed that one right there. So I'm actually going to just wash my brush off and dry it. And I'm going to just pick some of that paint up so that I can have a little white spot there. You can also come in later with gouache and just add white spots as well if you've got gouache in your palette. And we don't want this to be perfect. We don't want our blue to be perfectly even. We want it to be different varying degrees of blue to give it some interest. I'm just going to take some of that blue that I have already and bring it over here. Just circling around. Remember, this is watercolor, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Try to stay in the lines, but if you don't, that's okay. Oops. Did it again. Let's pull that up. There. Just gonna kind of move that blue around a little bit. And you can make your blue as light or as dark as you'd like. If you want it to be more like nighttime, go ahead and do a nice dark blue. Mine is kind of just a midday blizzard. I'm just going around my house, bringing some of that blue down here. Just give it some interest. Okay. Now with that same blue, I'm going to just add a little bit of water so it's nice and light, and I'm just going to put a few little lines in the snow. It just helps us know that that is snow. I'm going to make my windows blue, just barely blue. Okay. Just moving that blue around a little bit. Okay. Now we come in with our green. We'll do our tree. Just using the tip of my brush to get into those really skinny areas. And then my doors are going to be green on my house. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay. And while I have green on my paintbrush, I might as well just come in and do this area. Just going to add those little ivy leaves. Just again using the tip of my brush on those really skinny areas, and then pushing down a little bit on the more thick areas. Remember, those lines are just there as a guide. Don't worry too much if you go out of the lines. Let's do our trunk on our tree. Now we'll do our red. So I already have a mixture here. Just a reminder, it's mostly alizarin crimson with just a touch of our cadmium red to give it a nice Christmassy red. And we're going to just go right into our house. Put the chimney up here. And then our little dormer up here. Just using the very tip of my brush to get in all these little details. You can move down a size if you feel like you don't have the control that you want. I like to just use the very tip of my brush to do this kind of work. There. And then we're going to come right down here and do our hearts. Supposed to be a nice deep red. Okay, and before I do All Is Calm, I'm going to go ahead and do the pink area, just because I'm worried that my hand will smear that writing if I try to do this later. So I'm just mixing my white with my red to get a nice pink color. And I'm going to start up here where I know that it's dry, and get all of those areas first so that I don't want my green to bleed in or my red to bleed in. So I'm going to just be really careful about those areas that I'm pretty sure are not dry yet. Just kind of keep a little bit of that white paper in between my paint colors. Okay, and I think my green is pretty dry at this point, so I'm going to just go right next to that green. My red looks like it's doing good too, so I'm going to just get right up close now. Almost there. Let's mix a little bit more red, alizarin crimson, a touch of our cadmium, and then we'll go in and do our words. You can go ahead and draw them yourself, but if that makes you nervous, just try and stay within those lines. Okay. Just gonna go over those hearts one more time. Get them nice and dark. All right. Now you can choose to be done, or you can outline it. That's what I'm gonna do. I just feel like outlining just really helps bring out the colors and the details in this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that with my Sharpie No Bleed. I'm gonna start where it's dry and then work my way down. Okay, I think I'm gonna call this one done. I hope you enjoyed it. I can't wait to see what you did. Please share it with me, and I hope you have a very wonderful, calm day. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.